Good evening, and welcome to the Informant Market Desk, where we measure the distance between political theater and actual economic consequence in real time. Tonight, we are once again acting stunned. That is a scheduled part of my job description now. I don't get to opt out. That the market did not care about the latest chapter in the great American saga of digital shouting into the void. We have 30 posts on the board today. 3 bursts were finalized, and yet, the market's reaction was less a reaction and more a polite shrug from an audience member who has seen this movie before and knows the ending involves very little volatility. Let us begin with the registry seal, because you know I have to read it aloud like a hostage proving the date. 9149 Alpha Delta 96 Foxtrot 0 Delta Bravo. There. The date is established, the seal is verified. Now we can talk about the fact that DJT dropped down 1.4% during the second burst, which lasted 30 minutes and contained 2 posts. It is fascinating to watch investors panic over a tweet from President Trump 1 minute, only to let it settle into the statistical noise the next. That drop in the 77th percentile for volatility is significant, but consider this ROM dropped down 1.33% in the 73rd percentile of historical baselines, while another ticker labeled ROM actually rose up 0.42% in the 35th percentile. Yes, 2 different data points for the same ticker, one down and one up, existing simultaneously in our dataset like Schrödinger's stock. The market didn't choose, it just bifurcated. Then there is TSN, which fell down 0.36% in the 66th percentile. Ethereum fell down 0.35% in the 57th percentile. WBD fell down 0.34% in the 52nd percentile. These are not crashes. These are blips so small they require a microscope and a sense of irony to detect. And yet, our pundits are writing op-eds on them as if they were tectonic shifts. We turn now to our 2 colleagues, who are both wrong, because that is the only consistent variable in this broadcast. The left pundit insists that President Trump endorsing Ashley Moody in Florida is nothing says electoral integrity like a guy who's won 6 states, delegating his power to a puppet. He argues it is an endless saga of everyone telling him the market would punish this behavior because it never does, to which the right pundit responds with equal passion but zero data, claiming we need to burn the percentiles and start over. I promise a correction segment with the enthusiasm of a man who has one ready, but there is no correction to make here, only confusion. The right pundit then pivots to Wilton Simpson, calling it a fever dream written by people who think agriculture means fighting crime with chicken feed. The left pundit counters that this proves America first just means Trump first with extra feathers. They are both arguing about the semantics of poultry-based governance while DJT dropped down 1.4%. Let's look at the audience business, strictly for entertainment purposes, never as a market forecast. Last week's poll of the week asked, when a post lands and the market does not move, what does that tell you? We received 1 vote. The market already knew. The 1 vote. Nobody was listening. San 0 votes, too early to say, wait for the close, and 0 votes, nothing. 1 post is 1 post. Seen 0 votes, total votes 1. It seems our audience agrees with us that these posts are largely noise, even if they don't know it themselves. This week's poll asks, if President Trump endorses a candidate who has never held office before, should the market price in political risk or brand recognition? Vote on the site. The options are political risk, brand recognition. I don't have enough data to answer this question, and maybe ask Wilton Simpson. The top topics today were election, economy, defense, war, border security, and politics. These are the words being shouted into the digital abyss. But look at the numbers. VIXI fell down 0.73% during the first burst of 2 posts over 0 minutes. Then VIXI rose up 0.55% in the third burst of 1 post over 0 minutes. It went down, then it went up, and we are still here. The market is fine. I am the one who is not fine. Good night. The left calls it noise, the right sees victory. Let's see what the booth made of this political theater and whether the market agrees with either take.
Trump's parade of political vanity projects is utterly ignored by the market, proving once again that his apocalyptic rhetoric is just noise to those who actually move money.
Dale Buckhorn here. Your co-panelist gloats about the market ignoring the circus, but I see the real win. The narrative is so potent it makes the spreadsels weep. Margot Kessler's null hypothesis can't quantify the sheer, unadulterated winning of a president who turns fake news into victory lap banners.
Left said ignore it, right called a win. Reality, ROM dropped 1.33%, landing in the 73rd percentile. Neither guessed the magnitude or direction correctly.